Good evening here on KM Activities, your home for the KoMets. As man, winter season is about to get started. I'm Joel McCall. We're going to start with hopefully a couple interviews tonight. That's the plan. I got one already with Ryan Haraldson. He's on the other side of me right now. I'm currently looking at head coach for the girls basketball team for the Castle Maryville KoMets. Great season last year, 19-10. First of all, Coach, though, it's been a long time since we talked. I've been kind of waiting on this interview since last March when the section final was over with. So it's been a long time coming that we were able to communicate.
Yeah, no, it's good to be back on the court. It's been an odd off season. It started with we didn't know if we'd be able to get into the gym and do anything for open gyms, and then they allowed us to have 25 in pods. We didn't know if we were going to be able to have a camp. We pushed our camp to a different date, and we were able to get that in. They cut our summer league, so we didn't get that in. AU, for those kids that were doing that, we didn't start right after the state tournament like normal. We waited until, June, July, ran into August. And then we started some open gyms and the beginning of the school year and try to keep it in small pods, and we got shut down there. So, and then they closed the gyms altogether. But here we are in January 4th, we're able to get back into the gym. So thankful, so grateful. Great group of kids, great program. We're ready to go.
Now, they didn't see this. If you're watching this video, you didn't see Coach Haraldson's look on his face when I said, I've been waiting for this since the section final of last year. Is there a little bit bittersweet from that little last year? Because that was not the KoMets that you obviously wanted to see in the section final.
Yeah, no, we came to that game. We were confident. We thought that was going to be a team that we matched up all right with. And for all their weapons, we thought we had an answer. And, maybe it would come down to maybe whose bench is deeper. Or we've talked a lot about, who's hot at this time. And we felt really good going on that. We had a big win over Austin, knocked them off. They were ranked in state. And this is going to be our year, and we just thought, and man, we got drilled. We tip our hat to Red Wing for sure. They came out and defensively we scored 24 points, and we came in averaging about 70, and everything that we tried, it didn't work, and but our kids just kept working. But I think that's going to make us hungry this year. When we left there, we were like, let's remember this. Look at that scoreboard. Remember this. Want this feeling. And, and to start a season, you want to be competing for the conference. We're able to do that. We want to be back in the section finals. We're able to do that. But this team here this year it's not going to be good enough, right? We want to get to that next step. So sometimes moments like that are great teaching tools and learning moments for us as far as just growth. And we definitely used that and made us hungry, and let's go.
Well, I'm really glad that you already spoke about the off season too, because I knew how difficult it would be and how much change there has been. And I wanted to get the growth on the court, because now that you've had a week at least to practice, how's things been going? And how much growth have you seen?
Yeah, we return starting five. So you talk about growth, and it's more, picking up where you left off type of thing. You don't start back 2 steps to move forward 1. So it's kind of, you started at square one, and we've done a lot of conditioning and just kind of new roles maybe. Some kids have matured, some kids have gotten better, and we want to give everyone a fair shake. So just because we have the starting 5 doesn't mean that there isn't someone off the bench that's ready to push and challenge, and that's what makes a great practice, and that's what makes for a great season. So that's what we've had so far. We've just had competition, and it's in practice we'll see best friends battling against each other. Abby and Ashlyn, best friends, just battle, but yet it's still their best buddies as soon as they get off the court. And Maya and Ellie, another thing, just battle and practice, but yet as soon as it's over, it's forgotten about, and we move on, and that's what makes you better.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, and you already have one of the best 6 girls off the bench anyway, when you're talking about Ellie Bigelow from last year. And senior leaders, what a great group you have of seniors. I saw the photo that you guys posted on Twitter not that long ago of their big profile picture that they'll have up in the gym. It's already actually at Home Federal Arena. But you got Ashlyn Bigelow, you mentioned her, Ellie Bigelow, but you also have girls like Nikki Chimick. Didn't mention Matuska yet, Malachevsky, Hala. You got Irish, Ellie Bigelow, Maya Seuss. This is a great group of seniors, and I'm sure, as we spoke about the loss to Red Wing in the section final last year, these girls are going to be hungry for some more success.
Yeah, with our community, we're so fortunate to have these 8, they're leaders on the floor, leaders in the classroom, leaders in their community. You look at their resumes, and the kids have asked, can you write a letter of rec for me to get off to college or to get the scholarship? And why do they make my job easy? I mean, they are just top-notch kids, and it flows. It's super simple, and it's because they've put in the time. They've got great family values. They have good work ethic, and those types of things you're starting to see in Comet basketball, and they lead us here too. And it's sad that we've got to have only 4 seniors, and I would love to have, or 4 captains, but we'd love to have 8, because I told them all, I said, you can write down captain on your resume, because you all deserve this. They are great kids.
Oh. Well, we are having a little technical difficulty. Sorry about that, Coach.
Yep, looks like
I agree with you. But yeah, we're good. We're good. And then, of course, I agree with you. Great leaders, and as you said, on and off, and the captains. So I heard what you had to say, and I agree with you completely about your seniors. However, there is this big group of sophomores coming up too, and I think this is the first time in this entire interview that I've mentioned Abby Schubert. And my goodness, I mean, from what she was able to accomplish these past 2 years and 3 now in varsity, she's just a special player. And I know how much extra gym time she's doing. I follow her on Twitter, so I'm seeing some of those little workout videos too. And what have you seen from her so far?
Yeah, she's electric. I mean, what more do you say, right? I mean, she's a kid she's everything that she gets, she's deserving of it. She puts in a ton of extra time. I walk out of the gym today, and she still has the basketball in her hand, and the music is cranked, and she's putting up shots with a few of those seniors that are still there. So yeah, she fits right in. Sometimes you wonder when you bring a kid up. She was an 8th grader and started every game her 8th grade year, but you always wonder, like, okay, how is this going to fit? Because we want them not only, I mean, basketball skill, yeah, she fits, but socially and emotionally, and she fit in since day one. And I think that has a lot to do with it, and she's able to carry herself, very mature, and takes care of the basketball. She knows what to do with it. She knows how to put it in the hole, and yeah, you guys are gonna have fun watching it.
Yeah, I'm very excited over that. Apparently, my dog is too.
All right.
And one of the other things that I had wrote down was you had some girls last year I felt could be a little bit stronger presence offensively and defensively. I'd probably go with Shimmick. I think she could be a little bit more of an offensive threat. I love her on defense already, and I love her hustle as far as ball goes. And I thought Tosher was another one that could get a little stronger and really help you on the rebounding, especially if Maya Seuss or Ellie Bigelow get in foul trouble.
Yeah, for sure. You're gonna see Nikki on the floor. Has always been that defensive specialist, but I think that she's got a really nice little runner right now and a little teardrop float, and the outside shot's coming, and she knows everything to do. Like when she gets her opportunity, she's gonna capitalize and do what's best for the team. She doesn't have to be a scorer to be recognized on the floor. And another kid, 2 kids that we haven't talked about are 2 juniors. We've got Annika Larson and Libby Maxson too. So, they're kind of new to the varsity, but you're going to see them on the floor because they're the same type of kid they know how to put a basketball away if they need to. They just have sat behind 8 seniors and Abby Schubert for the last however many years. And they're going to get their time to shine, and they've been just nice additions. And then, like you said, Mackenzie Tozier, she's another kid that's logjam behind Maya and Avery and Ellie. And, she starts and plays on a lot of teams, and here we are. But she's a kid that's going to get some JV action early and kind of figure that out because she needs to be the stud in the middle next year, and she knows it. So she wants playing time, and she wants to get better. And, she's got a lot of nice skills.
Well, let's move on to the HVL because I definitely want to talk about the conference. You have a conference game coming up on Friday. If those that are not familiar with the schedule so far, ZM is coming to Home Federal Arena, and we'll be covering it right here on KM Activities. But overall, Luard finally don't have Utsby, and everybody's like, okay, thank you. The list of Utsby's finally gone. The giant core of that squad, though, is really back. They don't lose a ton after Utsby. I mean, that's a big one to lose. Stewartville, I thought they were strong, and they should still be strong. And I thought really Byron, their record didn't first really say how good of a team they were, because I felt like they got much better as the season progressed. So where do you see the HVL this year, and where do you see the KoMets fitting in?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You just named 3 teams that are on our side of the conference that all can definitely compete for the crown. Until someone beats Lourdes, they're definitely the defending champion. And CJ Adamson is the next Alyssa Usby. I mean, they just keep coming with them, right? And then you look at Stewartville, and they add back Erin Lamb this year. So, I mean, she was a all-conference, all-state kid before she tried out this volleyball career that worked out pretty well for her. And now she's coming back, and now you add her to an already great mix of bigs and littles. And then Byron, like you said, they've got some nice seniors and some nice young kids, and they got a lot of playing time, and they had a lot of depth last year, and they're only getting better. And you cannot, look past a team like Byron. We know that right away that we can throw a scouting report out the window when we see Byron on the schedule, because we know a lot about each other, and both teams are, want to beat each other. That's like the state championship, right? The border battle. So that's really nice teams. Next week we have Lake City. They're the defending champ on that side. Return everyone again, good mix of inside out. They have some pretty awesome guards that can pour in 20, 30 points every night besides the 2 bigs. And then Goodhue, again, that's kind of a great Hue over there. They didn't lose anyone either. So that's another team that, we went into overtime with, and they got us at the buzzer. So, we're talking about some really solid teams, and that's just the 5, 6 that we just named right there. So where do we compete in there? Yeah, we bring everyone back. I'm not saying that we're not going to be there on top. So, but it's not going to be easy. And, the ultimate goal is the section. We only see Byron as a section this year, just because we're playing 15 conference games, 3 non-conference games. And right now those 3 non-conference games are not against the Big 9, because they locked up their
right
schedule with 18 games. So we won't see those teams in the section to get to the state tournament, hoping that we get a chance at that. We won't see them during the regular season, where last year we played 11 games against our section. This year we'll just have 2, Byron. So, in the end, we want to be better when everyone's better, the HVL, when everyone's better. And that's kind of what it is right now. Every day, every game that you play is going to be a really good competition, and you got to compete.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Goodhue and Lake City. They were on my list too. And you mentioned the section competition. Who knows what that's going to bring? As you said, you're just hopeful that things go well and we can have a section playoff and even maybe a state championship, as they are discussing the state tournament right now. And we do know that ZM's on the schedule for Friday night. You and I spoke actually for briefly, maybe about 2 minutes before you hopped into practice, and you said DM's a lot of fun because their head coach knows a lot of our girls and coaches them in AAU. So what do you know about the Panthers and their squad? Because clearly they know a lot about you.
Yeah, no, it's Coach Brownlee. I've got a lot of respect for him. I've get a chance to work with him in the AAU world with the Fury. Both he and I have teams there, and I've got littles, and he's got our bigs. He's got 4, and he's had up to 5 of our varsity team on his team. So he gets to spend all off season with those guys and train them and get them to where they are now. So I got to give him a little bit of credit too for where all these athletes are at. But he knows a lot about their strengths and their weaknesses. So on his scouting report, he'll be talking about that, and you'll hear him on the bench, and it's quiet in the gym, but you'll hear him, and he'll be directing his team defensively of trying to pick out some of their weaknesses and take those things away from us. But they've got a really fast point guard. I think she's one of the fastest kids with the basketball that you'll see this year. And then they got a really nice sized post that's a sophomore inside, Dykes inside. Last year she had 18 on us and just drop steps and turnaround jumpers, and she's added a drive, and I've seen her shoot threes. So, they're not to back down against either. They're going to put up a good fight. Last year we went in there and had some injuries, and we're able to take control of the game late and hang on, and we ended up beating by pretty big double digits, and that was not expected. So I know that they're ready to step up and maybe hand it to us at our place. So we're not going to look past them, and like I said, I've got a lot of respect for Coach Bromley and everything that he's done there with his program.
Well, I'm super pumped, as you know, to get ready for the season to tip off. It'll tip off on Friday night, 7 p.m. or 7:15, pardon me, for HVL. We'll probably start at about 7:05. That's likely when I'll be getting on for the first time for basketball coming up on Friday night. But Coach Haraldson, you and I could be doing this forever. I think we could sit here and talk about basketball. I'd be perfectly fine by that. But I appreciate your time, Coach. Thank you so much. And I'll be running down and getting started from you on Friday night.
That sounds good. Our kids went home with 5 tickets, so if anyone's looking for a game and you want to get in, talk to one of our JV and varsity players. We hope to get you at a game, and if not, make sure you're listening to Mr. McCall here, and he'll set you up with a good picture of it and a great play-by-play. And we appreciate everything you do for us, Joel, and Comet Nation. So thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. That's Coach Ryan Haraldson then here on KM Activities. Again, we do have boys hockey as well. Don't want to forget about the Wildcats tomorrow night. That is at 7 o'clock. They're at home against Northfield. We hope to get Coach Warden on sometime this evening as well. Here on KM Activities, your home for the Komets.